Okay, so I am going to do a tutorial on Shelly's Seashell Monogram font. And the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go in and select your canvas size. I like to do a 12 by 12. Sometimes I'll do a 10 by 10, but for this, we're just going to do 12 by 12 and just leave that as a blank canvas. So I've got my black color showing. I've got a blank layer, my background color as white. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a photo and I'm going to bring in the base layer for the A left. And I'm not going to resize this because then I'm going to go back in, insert a photo, do the little ruffle that goes with that, the little scallop. And then I'm going to insert a photo again and I'm going to do the outline. Now, once I've done all three of these, I want to just go in and group that. And then I would name that A left. Because you're going to have an A left, an A middle, and an A right for these. I'm just going to walk you through how to do it with the A and how to export. And then you guys would just pull these in for all of the different letters. So what you do once you have this in order to make your design is I'm just going to resize it for this purpose because I don't use Procreate for these. But that way it's bigger and so you can see it better. And then I'll go ahead and just center it up. Well, I don't know. We'll leave it on the left so it looks like it's supposed to. So then what we're going to do is we're going to select the layer here and I'm going to click insert a photo. And this is because I'm using my digital papers in order to make this design. So it'll go ahead and insert it. And then you can either drag from the side here or you can click fit to canvas and it will go ahead and fit the entire paper. And then you want to do a clipping mask. So you're going to click on your inserted pattern, do a clipping mask, and it has now clipped to the letter. Then you want to do the same thing for your next one. So because I have a camo with a gold, I'm actually going to just add a gold photo in here. I have a pattern right here. And I'm going to go ahead and fit to canvas. And I'm actually going to make this one bigger because this is a smaller pattern that I have set to do designs. And then I'm going to do a clipping mask for that under. So now we've got our camo here that is clipped to our base layer. We have our scalloped layer that has our glitter paper, and then we have our black. Now, the issue with doing alpha sets in Procreate is obviously it's great that you can go ahead and design and color and all that straight on the canvas. But when you come to export, it will not let you export this group. Okay? And we don't want to flatten it because if we flatten it, then what it's going to do is it's going to make it to where we have to go in and redo this entire process. You want to have this set up if you're using Procreate to where you can go in and just insert a new photo and either turn that one off or delete it, which would be swiping left. So for this purpose, what we would do is we would take the background color off, then we would go to the little wrench, go to share, and do PNG file. Now I'm just going to save this into my tablet so that you guys can see what that looks like. I'm actually going to save it to on my iPad. I have moved my, we'll just go to downloads because I've moved my stuff. So we're going to save it. And then I'm just going to turn the background color back on. And I'm going to show you guys where it's at. So I'm going to go to my folder. That's the one I've done earlier. And then I'm going to go back into my downloads here. And this is my letter. Now, even though I named it left A, when you do it because the entire canvas is not named for that letter, that is where you'll have to go in and rename these as well. So it can be a great way to do them if you're hand drawing all of your patterns as you're making your alphas. It's just going to be a little more time consuming on the export for this. So that is why I use my design studio or I use Photoshop to convert to Canva frames so that you guys are able to do Canva frames. I can't do that legally and I would not do that with Shelly's. And I don't believe that Shelly offers these as a Canva frame. I think it's just the PNG, but I do have some videos for you guys on how to make a Canva frame in Photoshop So that could be a good resource for you. And Canva does have a lot more options now to make their Canva frames as well. So there may be an app that you can purchase in Canva to convert it that way to where you're not using Photoshop. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you know that. So that's how you do that. And once again, you would just set it up. You could do your middle and then your right all in one thing, and then you can export that. But you have to do it by letters. So if I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. So if this is my A left, and then I'm just going to name this as A middle. In order to export it without having both sections on the same one, what you would need to do is turn that one off to export this one. So I'll just move this over here. And then you would need to turn all of them off to export that, and then vice versa. If you're doing another version, you have to turn every single one off but that, and then make sure you're turning your background color off. So I hope that this helps. And like I said, it can be a great tool, especially if you're just wanting to use Procreate and not wanting to add in any more tools. But it can be a little more time consuming than the other options that we do have. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. And just let me know if you have any more questions or comments, and drop them in the group.